Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show, this holiday special. Barry Ferguson and Alan Ruff are with me here in the studio. And as we get ever closer to the end of the season, we thought it's only right and proper to try and pick our Manager of the Year, our Player of the Year and our Young Player of the Year. It's been an interesting season, Ruffy. Off the park, there's been all sorts of incidents. So sometimes we miss out on the fact that there's been some very good performances on the park.
Yeah, there certainly has, and there's been a few managers as well who have shone brightly. A lot of players as well. I think there's not as many players, as what there used to be. I think maybe 10 years ago we always had 4 magnificent players going for the Player of the Year award. I don't think that's the case now. I think we always pick 1 or 2, and then we're looking down the list to go, well, who else is there? So I don't know why that is. But as far as the manager concerned, that category as well, obviously if Brendan Rodgers was here winning trebles, there isn't any debate as far as I'm concerned. But now he's not here, it just throws it open to other managers.
Yeah, that's Ruffy's way of saying Barry. By the way, I could think of 2 players, but I can't think of anybody else. So I've thrown in a couple that have maybe sprung to mind. But from a playing perspective, I think the main point that Ruffy, you look back 10 years, look back 20 years, you had a number of players who were all vying for it.
Yeah, you did. Certainly back when I was playing, you had 4 or 5 outstanding candidates who were driving their team forward. This year it's been a hard pick. There's only been 1 or 2. There's 2 to stand out for me.
Yeah.
But I see where Ruffy's coming from. Previous years, it's been a tough one to choose. This year, I don't think it's as tough. For me, there's 2 guys that stand out.
Right, and before we get to the possible nominees, which will be coming out very, very shortly indeed, did you win the Player of the Year, the PFA Player of the Year?
Yeah, I won it twice.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Ruffy's there alongside you. We'll get.
Oh, well, I was nominated 5 times, but obviously
you were nominated 5 times.
Never won it.
You've got to be pleased with that, Ruffy. 5 times.
Yeah, but I was in that group of the good players.
How many times were you nominated at Hibs?
Hibs just a couple.
Yeah. You won the Scottish Football Writers.
Yes, I won that in 81. Yeah.
Yeah,
won that twice.
Twice as well. Okay.
I think I get in it with the Scotland team going to Argentina.
No, that's a minor technicality, but no.
He loves that one, doesn't he?
He does indeed. Okay, we've all selected our choices. Hopefully you'll be able to back it up as well. Which one of you wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Barry is going to give us, first of all, the selection for Manager of the Year. Let's concentrate in that category first of all.
Yep, I've went Dick Campbell, obviously winning the league with Arbroath, been at the top of the league from day one, so that's why I went for Dick Campbell. I think he's done a great job. Stevie Clarke, just again, he's been Mr. Consistent at Kilmarnock, again, vying for that top 3 place. Gary Holt, the reason why I picked Gary Holt is there's been not many changes in that Livingston squad that come up through the playoffs and the Championship. That's why I've went for Gary. He's kept him easily in the Premier League. And Kettlewell and Ferguson, it's their first real season in charge, and it looks to me that they are going to win the league. They're 1 win away from gaining that title, so that's the reason why I went for they 4.
And if you had to pick one of the 4, which one are you going for?
I'm going to go for Dick Campbell. Dick Campbell, for the simple fact, as I mentioned before, I know a lot of people might be surprised. A lot of lower league managers don't get it, but for the job that he's done there, and probably they'll not have a massive budget there. And as I says, for the first game of the season, I've been sitting top of the league all the way through until now.
Okay, Ruffy, Manager of the Year. Let's see your selection and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, well, obviously Stevie Clarke, because of the season that he's had, just like Barry was saying there, I think Kilmarnock have been a breath of fresh air. I think they've been really, really good most of the season. I picked Derek McInnes as well because obviously he gave us a team to hang on to Rangers and Celtic. And
We're waiting. We're waiting for your other nominees.
No, Derek McInnes, he's been challenging Rangers and Celtic. He's obviously got another semi-final. That's why he's in there.
Yeah.
Dick Campbell, I put Dick in there because of the reason that he's saying there. He's won a league. He's got a fantastic.
Let's cut to the chase, Robbie. What about your fourth?
Neil Lennon, I thought before he went to Celtic, Hibs were beginning to motor. I think they were a joy to watch. I think he had them playing good football. I think if he'd still been there, they would be challenging for possibly third anyway.
Yeah.
So, and he's moved to Celtic. I think he's went there, steadied the ship a wee bit, because a lot of injuries in there. People were doubting him whether he could do it, but he has done it so far. He's taken them to another league title win and a cup final.
Okay, I have to say, Barry and I, not quite with you on it. Here's my selection of the four. Steve Clarke, Kettlewell and Ferguson again, because obviously Roy McGregor likes to throw money at it, but you still have to get the results. Dick Campbell for me is just absolutely magnificent. When you look back at his CV of the amount of clubs that he's managed to win championships and playoffs with, it's absolutely astounding. And Jim McInally, because quite simply I think Jim was going to walk away from the Peterhead job because he felt as if he'd let the board down when they were relegated. But he's been in there with Davy Nicholls and they've stood their ground, they've built the team to get back out of that division, and I think they will indeed get out of it. So if you're asking me for the choice, I would think Dick Campbell for me wins it. As far as the player nominees, I'll give you the four that I think are going to be the player of the year. Again, the players are voting, and I think it'll come out fairly shortly. Alfredo Morelos, 29 goals for a youngster, still going through a learning curve. But despite his misdemeanours and his red cards, I think he's very worthy of being in the final four. Callum McGregor, for me, is the absolute heartbeat of Celtic. He dictates the pace. He's calm in front of goal, but also I think he can pick a pass. He's been just superb. James Forrest, sometimes it's all about the timing, if you just come to the boil at the perfect time. And I like Ryan Kent. I think he's got a trick. I like any player who's got something a little bit out of the ordinary, and Kent for me has got that trick. If you're pushing me on it, I would go for Morelos. Barry, what about your choice?
Yeah, I'm the same. Morelos, 29 goals this season. I know he's had his problems on the pitch with his sending offs and his bookings, but for me, I think he will win it. Callum McGregor, he's an outstanding midfielder. He can play the holding role, he can play number 10, he can play on the left side, he can even fill in at left back. So for me, it's between they two, and I've put obviously the two at the bottom, James Forrest, who I rate very highly. He's come on to an outstanding bit of form just now. Great goal last Saturday against Aberdeen, and I was going to put Ryan Kent in, but listen, this guy, Queen of the South, what would they do without him? Yeah. 39 goals this season. Unbelievable. I don't care what league you're in, to score 39 goals, I think it's 39 goals, 38 or 39 goals, to score that amount of goals, single-handedly, he runs Queen of the South. Yeah,
and over and above that, Ruffy, you've picked Neil Lennon and Henrik Larsson in your choice for Player of the Year.
Tierney had been out with that injury. No, he probably. No, that's not the case. No, I agree with you two. The two people it's between Callum McGregor and Morelos. And I'm not picking Morelos just because of the sending off. I just think Callum McGregor has matured this year. As you've just touched there, he can play in numerous positions on the park. And I think he's super. I think James Tavernier has another excellent season. I think we all like to see fullbacks getting forward, scoring goals. I think he's had a wonderful season as well. But Craig Halkett for me has been a tour in that Livingston defence, defending and also obviously scoring goals as well. And that's why other teams are interested.
Okay, we've started with Barry picking from the Manager of the Year. I then threw in my selection for the Player of the Year first, Ruffy. So let's look at your Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, I picked 4 Young Players of the Year because they're the only 4 I know that are 21.
At least you're honest about it.
21, but I mean, they are a fair pick. I mean, anybody with any common sense would probably pick these 4. As you'll probably see in a couple of minutes. But for me, if you're going to push me on a winner, I'd have to go for Anya. I think he's had a wonderful season this year. When we're all talking about Boyata, we're all talking about Simonovic, and there's a young boy come in and actually held the fort there and matured as the seasons went on.
Yeah, okay. Barry, what's your pick on this one?
As you can see, I've got Lewis, my nephew. I think he's had a fantastic season. He's added goals to his game. David Turnbull, every time I watch Motherwell, I'm impressed with him. Really good footballer. Jack Hasty, I know he's come in. He had a loan spell out with Alaba, but he's come back in and obviously shot to fame in that Motherwell first team. He's been excellent again every time I've watched him. And Ross McCrory, every time he plays with Rangers, I'm impressed with the young boy. I will say I'm missing Ayer there.
Yeah.
That's my fault. I'm disappointed myself for the simple fact is I actually thought Ayer was a bit older, so Ayer would have been in.
Yeah.
Instead of McCrory.
Yeah, so you put me under a bit of pressure. You try to get the Rangers fans having a go.
Yeah.
No,
Who are you picking for the young player though?
Listen, I'm not going because he's my nephew. I do think Lewis has had an outstanding season for Aberdeen. It's his first full season and he's been a mainstay in that Aberdeen first team.
Okay, here's the selection from myself. Again, looks similar to yours, Ruffy. I wonder who picked theirs first. Christopher Ayer, absolutely superb. I think he's going to be worth a lot of money for Celtic in the future. Coming out, he can pick a pass, and again, learning the defensive areas week by week. Lewis, I've just been well impressed with him. I share your view on that. Sometimes it's all about coming to the boil at the right time, as I mentioned there with James Forrest, but David Turnbull's been superb. I think Jake Hasty might get it on the basis that some players are looking over the last couple of months and thinking he's been superb. Yep. He might nip it if you're pushing me on it. I think he's a hot prospect. The only problem I have with him is he hasn't played enough games. Mm-hmm. So overall, I think the young player for me personally is Christopher Ayer. I think he's been absolutely superb.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm shocked that he's 20.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know
he's
my
21,
football,
but he was 20 at the start of the season.
I know my football. I was surprised. That's why he's not in my fort. Again, I agree with you. If he keeps playing the way he's playing,
yeah,
Celtic are going to get a lot of money for him.
Okay, that's our choice, all about opinions. You can give us your choice on social media, on, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter as well, at PLZ Soccer. We'd love to hear from you. Your nominees, can you come up with 4 in the Manager of the Year, the Player of the Year, and the Young Player of the Year? Give us your thoughts on that. And don't forget, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also download the PLZ Soccer app. From Ruffy, Barry and myself, Peter Martin, enjoy the holiday.
Expect the